So yes, good evening everyone, and welcome to our this episode of webinar. I'm Anup, your host for the today's webinar. So welcome all. As we start, let me start with the presentation. So all of us are here. Our friend Renji, whom we lost 5 years back, and his 5th anniversary was on last Sunday. And we remember him on this day before we start this webinar. So just to remind you all once again that we have a YouTube channel called Renji Memorial Society ECC. Please, I would request all of you to like and subscribe this channel, and all our webinars are uploaded here. At any point of time, you can visit this site and see all our earlier webinars. And this is how the page looks like. So we have all our all the webinars which we did last year, and in 21 all are uploaded here. And even this webinar, after today's session, maybe tomorrow by afternoon, we should be uploading this on the YouTube channel. And let me welcome our President, Mr. Paul Verghese, for his address.
Thank you, Anup. Good evening, friends. Welcome back to the 8th episode of Cric Talks. The last episode in December with our panel of renowned umpires was appreciated by all, giving us insights into the field of umpiring. The cricket season is going on full swing these days. Today I heard that our Kerala boys are doing well in their second Ranji match against the Gujarat team, and Calicut zone Rohan Kundumel is going great guns. It's a proud moment for all of us. Today is a historic day for all of us at Ranji Memorial East Hill Cricket Club, who started the webinar series 1.5 years back, highlighting most of the stars of Kerala cricket. But tonight, we are honored and privileged to bring to you a person who is instrumental to have made MS Dhoni and CSK team a favorite team of millions of fans worldwide. He was an excellent domestic cricketer in his heydays. He is the CEO of the Chennai Super Kings, Mr. Kashi S.Viswanathan. Welcome to Cric Talk, sir. I would also like to thank one of the directors of CSK, namely Kalyan Sundaram, for introducing us to Kashi Vishwanath. To introduce our main guest, we have the elite panel match referee, former Kerala Ranji player and Calicut zone, Narayanan Kuti. Let me welcome you to Cric Talks. Today, as a panelist, we are honored to have the former Kerala Ranji middle order batsman who's currently an active member of the Chennai Super Kings, Mr. M.A. Satish. Welcome, sir, to Cric Talks. And the other panelist is our stylish batsman and former skipper of Kerala Ranji team, Sunil Oyasis. Welcome, Sunil, to Cric Talks. I see that a lot of our regular viewers have turned up today. Let me welcome all of you. I would also like to welcome all the district association members, academies, and the current players who have assembled here today. So let's get ready to hear yet another interesting cricketing story. Over to you, Anu.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So may I request Narayanan Kuti, international match referee, to do the honor of introducing the speaker of the day. Over to you, Kuti.
Yeah, thanks, Anup. Am I audible?
Yep.
Okay. Good evening, friends, and well-wishers of RMECC who have logged in. Good evening, Kashi sir, and our panelists for the day is Satish and Sunil. I feel privileged to introduce Sri S.Viswanathan, CEO of Chennai Super Kings, who I've been referring to as Kashi sir right from my Chennai days, which started in 1992. Also referred to by many as the ever-smiling but shrewd cricket administrator who hails from Kallidai Kurichi, a village in South Tamil Nadu, and has risen to become the never-say-no man of Tamil Nadu cricket. In Kashi sir's own words, this is from the internet, the team spirit and player comfort within the team and consistency with management decisions without interference is a very important part of CSK success story. A man with great experience, a calm head on his shoulders, and his relationship and rapport with S.Viswanathan goes back a long way. In his young days, signed up by Jolly Rovers at the age of 16 to play in the competitive First Division League in Madras. And friends, take it from me, First Division cricket in Madras is extremely competitive. Many of Kerala's first-class cricketers got a flavor of Chennai First Division League through this club. This takes me back to a conversation which I had with Kalyan Sundaram, our own Kali, who's no stranger to Kerala cricket with credentials beyond compare, former BCCI match referee and a colleague of Kashi in his playing days at Jolly Rovers. I would like to quote Kaliji's exact words here. So Kali was telling me, Kali opens the bowling for Tamil Nadu, but Kashi opens the bowling for Jolly Rovers, and I only get the second over. So Kali was so excited when he mentioned how good a swing bowler Kashi was in his playing days, with a knack of picking up wickets consistently for Jolly Rovers, and the surprise that more opportunities didn't come in search of Kashi. Kashi sir, who I would like to refer him to as Kashi sir, joined India Cements in the accounts department after graduation and has never shifted loyalties ever since. S.Viswanathan handpicked Kashi sir, who was then the deputy manager cost, to drive the cricket revival at India Cements. India Cements were making a comeback into mainstream cricket in Chennai, and provided him with the opportunity to manage the cricketing affairs of the India Cements team. And the rest is history, and there was no looking back. Our panelists for the day, Satish and Sunil, joined India Cements in the early 90s during this period and were part of the revival and the uprise of India Cements as players. During this period, he had also made the move into cricket administration at TNCA. In 1995, he became an executive member from districts and then the assistant secretary of TNCA at the beginning of the last decade. In 2008, Kashi sir took over as secretary of TNCA. The same year also saw the launch of IPL. Kashi sir has remained an integral part of the administration of Chennai Super Kings, a team owned by India Cements right from the formative years. During his tenure as secretary at TNCA, he assured that players from districts got equal opportunities and developed infrastructure in districts with grounds having turf wickets in Tirunelveli, Trichy, Hosur, Villupuram, Dindigul, Theni, Dalavoy, and Tiruvallur. Also achieved the task of rebuilding the stadium at Chepauk in a record time of 16 months. There have been many ups and downs in recent times, and he had to overcome some very challenging situations, but Kashi sir has remained largely unchanged and his smile never faded. From managing cricket affairs of just one team at India Cements in the early 90s, Kashi sir has come a long way in the last 3 decades. India Cements now manages around 15 teams in the Chennai League. The performance of CSK has been particularly satisfying for him as he has been actively involved with the selection of CSK players. Winning 4 IPL titles, winning IPL and Champions League in the same year, and also bagging the Fair Play Award on 6 occasions remains one of the most satisfying achievements for this ever-smiling administrator. Kashi sir has been a great family man and is married to Srimati S.Viswanathan and is blessed with 2 daughters, Chitra and Ashwini. His effective guidance after taking over as CEO paved the way for Chennai Super Kings, becoming the country's first sports unicorn, with its market cap having touched a figure which is higher than that of the sponsors, or should I say, the parent company. Kashi sir again, without mentioning, I don't have to mention it here, shares a great bond and rapport with the CSK skipper, Iceman, number 7, and ensures that every player has a space and is secure, relaxed, and comfortable, which is fundamentally the essence of a successful franchisee. CEO of the team with the largest fan following across India, colloquially referred to as a Yellow Army. CEO of the team with an official fan club called the Whistleblower Army. CEO of the team which has the highest win percentage of 59.83% in IPL with 117 wins out of 196 matches, reaching the playoffs 11 times, and out of this 10 times were in successive seasons, playing 9 finals and winning the title on 4 occasions in 2010, 2011, 2018, and 2021. Friends, that is Kashi Viswanathan for you, from a village boy to a player to an accountant to a shrewd and sharp administrator, a great human being, and now CEO of CSK. Hope I have done justice in introducing this great personality. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kuti. So we have our Yellow Army here too. So before I hand it over to our panelists, I would like to take you through a few special moments. And this is the Jolly Rovers team. Any guesses for you? Where is Kashi sir? So this is Kashi sir. And this is Kali sir. So this is a photograph of in the 60s, the late 60s, I would say. And most of the players have been the cricketing greats during that time. Just to name a few, like from top left end, we have Najam Hussain, of course, B. Kalyan Sundaram, Bharadwaj, George Thomas, who was supposed to be one of the fastest bowlers, Beliappa, KVR Murthy, Ganapati. Of course, here we have Kashi sir, we have Narayanan, Dharamalingam, Balaji Rao, and K.R. Rajgopal. And all of them, again, most of those legends have met again, and this is how they look recently. And you can see a photograph behind. This is the Jolly Rovers League Champions 1966-67. And the people behind the CSK story, Mr. S.Viswanathan and Mr. Kashi Viswanathan. And the team is complete with the addition of MS Dhoni, that is a Talai. And it's nice to see all of them working together, and that is, I think, the trademark of CSK, the teamwork. And I'm sure Kashi sir will tell us what he was telling Dhoni, what tips he was giving to Dhoni. And this is Ambatu Raidu. And this is something, why this photograph is because this is one team CSK who ensures that every player's family is with them during the matches. And this is a family photograph with Mrs. Vijaya Vishwanath, Chitra, and Ashwini. And with this, let me hand over to our panelists for the day, M.A. Satish and Sunil Ayasis. So before I hand it over, Satish, so when did you first meet Kashi sir? Unmute yourself, Satish. Unmute.
Kashi sir, I think the first time when it was when we had gone, I think me and Sunil were en route to Hyderabad to play the state matches, and then we got down in Chennai to give our first interview. So we met Mr. Swaminathan sir, and then Kashi sir also was there, and that's when the long relationship started.
Which year you said?
That was 92.
92. So Sunil, yes, the same year, the same occasion? Sunil, unmute. Unmute, Sunil. Yes,
actually, I got an opportunity to play for India Cements as guest for Tripunithara tournament. Oh. So I went all the way to Cochin. So that's the first time I met Kashi sir.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So over to you, over to the panelists for the rest of the proceedings. So over to you, Satish, and you are free to ask any questions. And being a year end, the only one request is you are not allowed to talk about increments. Rest any questions is okay.
Okay, so it feels it's a little strange for me to sit in a panel and ask sir questions. Many of the things that we discuss, but then as my duty as one of the panelists, I'll start. So, sir, here you go. Mr. Kashi Viswanathan, the calm and composed cricket administrator. 50 years in cricket administration, from district associations to the ICC. Wingman of Supremo Mr. N. Srinivasan, the administration guru. Sir, how would you summarize your journey so far? So you have to unmute, I think.
Yeah, so you need to unmute.
Yeah.
So you need to unmute, sir.
Yeah, sorry. Good evening to all. Satish, Sunil, Kali, Anup, and the president, and all the others. It's been a very interesting journey for me for the last 50 years. As all of you know, I joined India Cements way back in 1973. And in those days, after having qualified to play for Jolly Rovers during my school days, I continued to play for another couple of years, and then started working seriously in the accounts department, where I used to play cricket for the Jolly Rovers as well as the other teams of India Cements. There was a gap when Mr. Srinivasan was not in power in India Cements, and he came back to India Cements in 1990, 89 or 90, when we started sponsoring cricket again. One day when Mr. Srinivasan was with Mr. N. Shankar, I think Mr. Shankar asked him, why don't you stand for a vice president's post in TNCA? Till such time, though India Cements were sponsoring cricket in a big way, they never came into cricket administration in TNCA. Mr. Srinivasan said, why not? I'll try. And that year, he stood for the vice president and lost by 1 vote. And probably that loss made him, as everybody knows, he said, now that I have lost, I will see to it that I become the president of the TNCA and then only leave. That started our journey with TNCA. We came into TNCA with hardly 1 vote, and by sponsoring cricket and developing cricket in the districts, we got the confidence from the voters of TNCA, and after about 9 or 10 years, he was able to make it to the TNCA as a vice president. That was the beginning of my administrative career with Mr. Srinivasan in cricket, though we had relationship with Cement right from 1983. After getting into Tamil Nadu Cricket Association, his main aim was to promote cricket in a big way. And to that, his first advice to me was that I should concentrate on districts cricket. That's why I took over as the Assistant Secretary of the Tamil Nadu Cricket Association, which is in charge of districts, and started giving opportunities for the district cricketers to come and play in the city league. Actually, around 100 to 120 players from districts will always travel down to the city on every Sunday or Saturday whenever there was a league game, and we provided them the opportunity to play in various clubs of ours. And this helped in the promotion of the game in the districts. And if you look at the composition of the state teams from those days, it really increased to 6 or 7 participants from the districts in the state level in all age groups. His contribution to cricket was not only by way of promoting only the district cricket, but also seeing to it that infrastructure is provided, improvement is provided throughout the Tamil Nadu state. And he was very particular that Tamil Nadu should do well in Ranji Trophy. Though we do well in white ball cricket, we have still not done justice to the 4-day game and Ranji Trophy way back in '88 was the last win we had. From Tamil Nadu Cricket Association, the journey started for BCCI, and from BCCI treasurer, it went up to the secretary and to the president. The only thing which we were very particular about is the fact that when somebody offered Mr. S.Viswanathan that you should take up as the vice president of BCCI, we had a meeting with Dr. Natarajan, who was Mr. S.Viswanathan's cousin, and a great, what I would say is a great admirer of cricket, and also who can spot cricketers right from the school level. I don't think in his probably 20, 25 years of watching cricket, he wouldn't have missed any of the school matches in Chennai. We had a discussion with Mr. S.Viswanathan, and we felt that if at all you want to go to the BCCI, you should first not take up as a vice president, which doesn't have any work. What you should look at is to become a treasurer, then graduate into a secretary, and then become the president. And that's how we really worked. And to get into BCCI is not also a very easy task. At that time, Mr. Pawar was planning to contest, and we had a good rapport with Mr. Pawar. And it so happened that when Pawar won as president in his team, Mr. S.Viswanathan became the treasurer. After becoming the treasurer, the main thing he wanted to do was that the players' payments should be on time, because every time there was a complaint that the payment for players were not on time, and his first task was to see to it that the payment to the players was streamlined. And he was one of the architects for the introduction of the ex gratis system to the players, advising the then president, Mr. Pawar, and who ultimately approved it. It was also a very important administrative work which we did, was because of the fact that the Tamil Nadu Cricket Association the Board of Control being registered with the Tamil Nadu Societies Registration Act, had not filed the returns for nearly 25 years. It was a Herculean task to get that affiliation back, and that really helped me understand how difficult it is to run an association and to also properly file returns on time, so that the benefits of the society is always kept. There were a lot of learnings under Mr. S.Viswanathan, right when he was the treasurer, the secretary. While he was secretary, we had a lot of work to do with improvements to be made for the domestic cricket. And then he became the president and finally the ICC chairman. It was a long and successful journey. Learnings every day, and I really enjoyed working under him. And it was a quite exciting and fruitful journey also. We had some troubles in between because of the situations you have in a cricket association. which you can witness in any association for that matter. It's been quite interesting.
Thank you for that insight. Thank you, sir. I think I'll let Anup, back to you.
Yeah, Sunil.
Good evening, sir. Sunil here.
Good evening.
I'd like to ask, we understand that you are a very good swing bowler during your playing days, and you are a regular member for Jolly Rovers. How come you did not pursue cricket for the next level?
See, I started playing cricket from the school level at Tirunelveli. I was born and brought up in Tirunelveli. My father was working in India Cements at Shankar Nagar. At Shankar Nagar, we had a good coach by Mr. K.S. Kannan was the coach, who was a great swing bowler. I was under him at school, and he really taught me how to bowl in swing. At that point of time, we didn't have that kind of opportunities you have now. See, it was one of the reasons why I was very particular that we should improve district cricket. We didn't have the facilities as you have in these days. So our only aim was that we used to have one city districts game at the school level, under 16 now it's under 16. That in those years, it was a Ratnavelu trophy, which is played between city and districts. And then if you do well, there is an opportunity for you to go into the state school side. And after that, if you get a chance to play in the Chennai league, you can improve. Otherwise, it's very difficult for you to go up. I had the opportunity to play for in the Chennai league because of the connection we had with India Cements. And that's how I could probably do something good in my early days. As far as not progressing more than the university level, it's because of the fact that in those days we had some quality bowlers. If you have bowlers of the caliber of Kali, George and others, it's very difficult for you to make it into the state side. So I really enjoyed playing cricket at that level, and I don't have any regrets.
Yeah, Satish. Next.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, sir. I have chose the next question from me, sir, and I think this is more of a public. Everybody wants to know this, so I've just chosen this question. It goes like this: how do you manage to maintain the same core team of CSK, whether it's players or the support staff? Is it a conscious, meticulous planning, or it just happened?
Satish, you are very well aware that cricket. See, India Cements cricket started in 60s. We were we are managing cricket right from 60s. We continued till about 75, till about 77. Then there was a break. Then again, we started in 89. And the kind of relationship we had with the team and the composition of the teams was one which helped us in forming the IPL team, Chennai Super Kings, in 2008. I wouldn't say that the other franchises had the same kind of cricket background that we had. And Mr. V.B. Chandrasekhar was the one who really helped us in forming the team in 2008. At that point of time, we had the vision of taking a team which will be for the future, as well as the balance of the team was maintained. One of the main criteria when we got the team in 2008 was to have the right balance and also see to it that we don't tinker with the team too often. It so happened that it really worked. And as you know, since we have the same practice at India Cements with our teams, we could succeed to a great extent. And once, the other important fact was, in 2008, we had a coach, Kepler Wessels, who did not have a very good rapport with MS in the first year. So immediately, that was the only year when we had a different coach. So immediately after the first year, we decided that yes, we will have Fleming, who was with the team and who was planning to retire as the coach, and who had a very good rapport with MS. At the same time, we also concentrated on getting the right support staff. Mr. Muralidharan was the one who introduced us to Tommy Simsek, who was supposed to be one of the best physios, and he continues to be a physio right from 2008. The same was the case with Cric as the trainer, and we knew about Cric because he was with the Indian team earlier, and that helped us to get the correct trainer for the team also. So when we decided on the composition of the Chennai Super Kings in 2008, we decided that as far as practicable, we should keep the core of the team together. We knew that every 4 years there will be a big auction, and we should plan it in such a way that the core of the team should not be disturbed. Because the other point is also that with MS being the captain, the brand CSK is also being created, and we should see that we should not lose out on the CSK brand. That was also one of the main reasons why we could continue with the sustained team. Right now, even this year, if you look at the end of the day, out of the 25 players we have selected, 13 are players who have been from the previous year and who have been with us earlier. We were unfortunate to lose a few, but that's the economics of the auction.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I think, Sunil?
The other reason also is that we at that point of time decided that most of the players who come into the IPL come after a very, very busy season, domestic as well as international. So we knew that the players, when they come into the IPL, they will all be missing their families. The main reason why we decided that families will be allowed for IPL is because of the fact that the players should be free when they get into play. Their minds should be free. And Mr. S.Viswanathan was the one who suggested that the first year when we had the IPL in 2008, he said, first invite the wives and children. And that has continued, and that has continued forever.
Okay. Sir, can we take it that we can brand you as an all-rounder? Your cricketing abilities and administrative skills.
You are an all-rounder. In the right sense, I can manage administration and cricket to a small way.
Yes, Mark.
Yeah, Satish?
Yeah. Okay, so next question. I'm feeling a little strange asking you this, but then, yeah. So as the CEO, you're the integral part of this amazing franchise, which I should say by far is the most consistent team in the league. And then what kind of interactions you have with MS with regards to the overall running and things like that? So how do you go about it, sir?
My interactions with MS is very, very minimal. See, I interact with MS only on administrative matters and also before an auction. as far as the auction is concerned, where I interact with him a lot, we decide on the kind of composition and the balance the team needs. As far as the international players are concerned, he is fully aware of the kind of players he is looking at. Domestic, he has left it to me and our talent spotting people because he hasn't got the chance to see many domestic players. In that way, I interact with MS for a long time. Other than that, I never interfere with the cricketing aspects or the team dynamics at any point of time. That has been the culture of India Cements. That has been how we have been running cricket. And we never interfere with the cricket administration and the team management. You know very well about that. And that's the way we do it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sunil?
Yeah. Sir, probably CSK is the only team who has not changed the chief coach and also the supporting staff for so many years. And nobody wants to leave CSK also. What is the secret behind that?
See, as I mentioned earlier in my first part of the answer, CSK has always maintained a very good relationship with the team members, their families, and also when we select a player, we find out whether he will fit into the team's culture. That is the most important thing. That has carried us through with a composition of teams which have always gelled with the management also. And over the years, we are lucky enough to have some retentions allowed. That also allowed us to have the continuity with the players. And we also had the mind to, when we get into an auction, we are very, very clear about how we can get back our players and how we can also have some good talent coming in who will be serving us in the future. That has enabled us to have a team where we had probably been able to get most of the players consistently with us over a period of time. What stuff is concerned, yes, we were lucky enough to get the best of the lot available, and at no point of time did we envisage to change them, or did they, or they also did not want to move out of CSK.
Thank you, sir. Satish.
Anup, you want to take some questions or should I ask the next question?
Yeah, you can ask. You can ask.
Okay. Now, sir, this cricket community around the world, we have a lot of players who played for us, and for some reason we couldn't retain, as you had earlier said, the auction dynamics and things like that. So the word trickles down far, and it's a small word. It goes amongst the players, then it comes back to the administrators and the management. So the question is, how come every player, domestic or international, wants to play for CSK? Is it due to the Dhoni effect, or is it the CSK culture that makes them feel that way?
It's a blend of both. Actually, anybody who wants to come and play for CSK knows that he's going to play under the captaincy of MS Dhoni. And all the players, for that matter, look up to who playing under him, because you learn a lot. You develop as a player, you develop as an individual, you develop as a team man. So that has been the most important aspect of CSK. And they also know that when you come into CSK, not only do you get to play with MS and get his knowledge, but also you get into a franchise which treats you very well. That is the main advantage of being in CSK.
Well,
Yeah. So my last question, sir. A word of advice to the aspiring young cricketers who dream to make it to the top, either the state and national sides, and also an entry to the IPL.
See, the word of advice would be to follow a process where you have to be patient, you have to give your, you have to concentrate and work really hard to get to the top. Never ignore your parent, association, and state. Unless and until you do well in your domestic level, you will never be able to go up. Never forget the state which was brought you up.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So,
Over to Anup.
yeah, thank you, panelists. I think you have covered a lot of things that we wanted to know from our super boss. So, sir, ready for some few fast ones?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So the first one goes like this. CSK, we heard that it has become the unicorn company now, one of the few, the first sports enterprise to achieve the status. So was it within your planned timelines, or was it just happened?
No, it was not to the timelines.
Okay. So when will CSK become a super unicorn company?
Near future.
Oh, good. That is very optimistic, sir. And how many employees do you have in CSK?
We have 8 employees.
Including a support staff?
No, I'm only talking about the administrative employees. I mean, if you look at the support staff, we have 25 players and 14 support staff. Okay. Apart from that, we have 8 employees.
Okay, yeah. So we heard you talking about your relationship with Mr. Srinivasan and a lot of learnings that you had with him. Can you describe in 2 words your relationship with Mr. N. Srinivasan?
Super boss.
He also calls you the same.
No.
Okay, so we know that you have close interactions with Dhoni. So which are the 2 things that has really impressed you about Mr. Dhoni?
So his calmness and the process which he follows to achieve.
Thank you. Yeah.
And gets the best out of the players.
Oh, yeah. True. So who gave the name Talai to him?
The CSK fans.
Good. So as CEO, as you have already answered this, but let me ask you again. As CEO, do you give any tips to Talai as far as the game is concerned?
No.
Yeah.
I talk a lot with Kali. After the game, we have a lot of discussions. That's the only thing we do.
But have you ever seen Talai losing the cool?
Yeah, once or twice.
Oh, that's news to us. So one IPL match you cherish the most?
The win in 2018 after we came back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, true. Okay. And which is the most disappointing match you will remember?
The loss of 2019 by Wonder.
Okay. So whose idea was the Whistle Podu Express?
Srinivasan.
Oh, okay. How often you visit the players' dressing room during a match?
I have never visited the players' dressing room during a match.
So Talai is the boss there.
Yeah.
So on paper, which team do you think is the toughest in the season? On paper.
Delhi seems to be good.
Delhi.
Yeah.
Okay. So during your playing days, who was your choice of best batter and bowler in Madras League?
Satwendra, the best batsman I've seen, and VV Kumar.
Okay. So, I'm sure you would have had some cricketing idols during your playing days. Can you name one or two?
S.Viswanathan
Okay.
was one
Okay.
whom we always admire.
So let me move away from the cricketing scene. Which is your favorite movie?
I never see movies.
Oh. But I'm sure you will have some song that will linger in your mind quite often.
Yeah. Not able to praise anything immediately. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So, and this is a googly for you. So, which coffee do you drink? CSK Strong or CSK Premium? Before you answer, let me tell to everybody who's listening. I don't know how many of you are aware CSK has got a coffee brand. I was asking about that. So, one is CSK Strong and other brand is CSK Premium. So, which one do you drink, sir?
I haven't drunk CSK Strong or Premium. That is the
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
That was an interesting round, and of course, I request all who are listening this program to type in your questions. Big Boss is there with us for some more time, so you can ask questions. We already have a few questions with us, so we'll keep asking you one by one. And in between, let me also say that Mr. J.K. Mahindra has joined. He is saying hi to you.
Oh, great. How is JK's health?
Yeah, we will connect him, sir. After this, we'll ask him. We'll ask him to join us. Yeah. So let me take the first question. The average. This is from Mr. Viswanathan, MS Viswanathan. I'm sure you will know. He is our umpiring legend in Kerala, and he is now the trainer for the umpires. So he's asking average age of CSK players is the highest among all IPL teams, and still be the champions and performers at a very high order in a game dominated by youngsters. So what's the secret behind this?
See, experience plays a very crucial part. I'll tell you a small incident. When we took the 2018, when we picked the 2018 team for CSK, at the end of the day, at the end of the first day auction, I asked MS that all of us, the press and everybody is saying it's a dad's RB. And the social media is also commenting like that. He only said, you don't see the paper, boss doesn't see the paper or social media. What we want is experience. And that will give us the title. And that's what happened. See, playing crunch situations and handling in a 2020, the most crucial times, I think experience plays a very important role. I do agree there should be a good blend of youth and experience, but we have somehow managed with our experience lot.
Yeah. Paul?
Yes, I see some questions in the chat box.
Yeah.
Not questions, sorry. It's some greetings. Haridas Nair from Haridas Setan from Peridalmana. He's saying it is really nice to hear your views. All the best for the upcoming IPL. Yes, Haridas. You must be knowing him, I'm sure.
Thank you very much, Haridas sir. How are you?
And a greeting from JK is saying Kazi is a great human being, hence he is the CEO.
Thanks, JK.
Sir, we would like to hear from you, sir, something more on the Whistleport Express. I am sure it would have been a Herculean task to arrange a train from Chennai to Pune. Can you just throw some light on that?
See, actually, I'll explain it to you the process, how it was done. We were very, very unfortunate that cricket moved from Chennai to Pune because of the Kaveri issue.
Yeah.
We were playing in Chennai after 2 years, 3 years of gap, and the entire Chennai Super Kings fans were expecting to fill up the Chepauk Stadium. You won't believe when we came an open bus from the hotel at Crown Plaza to the Chepauk ground. The team came in a hotel, came in a open bus. And there were, for practice, 15,000 people watching the practice. After having witnessed that and having played the first game and then losing out playing in Chennai, meant that it was a great loss for the Chennai Super King fans. Mr. S.Viswanathan was very, very upset that we had to move to Pune. But we had to do it in a week's time. All of us were busy getting into Pune, getting our stadium ready, getting our branding done, and getting ready to play the matches there. Nobody ever thought that we will be able to get the Chennai fans coming up to Pune to see the matches. But one person was very, very clear, and that was Mr. S.Viswanathan, who said, I have to bring those Chennai Super King fans to Pune to witness some matches. So he organized, it was very difficult to get to get a private allotment of about, say, 8 to 9 wagons to move our people from Chennai to Pune. We had the right people to get to the railways and get the approvals. And within no time, he got the approvals and then called me and said, we are going to send 1,000 of our Chennai Super King fans for the first trip. And we just had 2 days time to organize that in Pune. Imagine, to organize tickets, of course, there was no problem. To organize their stay for 1,000, organize their food, organize their transport from the respective hotels to the stadium. We organized 22 buses at the station to pick them up. Then organized 4 Kalyana Mandapams, where we had to have mattresses done, and about 2 to 3 hotels. It was all done in 3 days. We had Mr. Palni, who was my joint secretary at TNCA, who was in charge of the whole plan. And he carried out everything within 2 days of time. And the entire crowd enjoyed their stay in Pune. They also enjoyed the match. And we followed up with another trainload of Chennai Super King fans. And I think that was the best we could do and give back to the CSK fans.
That was really great. So yeah, Paul, to you.
Question from Srikumar Nair. Good evening, Kashi sir. I have a couple of questions. Having known you for the last 25 years on a personal and professional front, I have never seen any administrator or cricket manager who has never lost his cool even once, even in the most toughest situations. How have you been able to do it, sir? And the second question from him is, where do you see CSK in the next decade? Nothing that this huge legacy you and your team have set forward.
See, I've been lucky enough to be probably being calm over a period of time. Probably that's my nature. And as far as, more importantly, as far as CSK's legacy is concerned, I think we have the right people to take it forward. See, I've reached an age where it's only a question of time before I retire. We have Sundar Raman, who has taken over as who has taken over CSK now, who has got the best experience of handling the franchise cricket. He was the CEO of IPL also earlier. And with the kind of team composition which we have practiced over the years, which has proved successful, I'm sure that in future also, it will be possible for them to probably continue with the same kind of team composition, but also have MS as Tala as in some part of CSK's management after his retirement, so that the legacy will continue.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So we have a question from Radhakrishnan. So we had the Packer series, which was condemned by the cricket playing nations the world over. And then but Channel 9 caught on. The cricket became colorful and shorter versions of the game emerged. How come IPL caught the imagination and acceptance of the cricket world and made it a world premier cricket tournament?
See, I think 2020 being a game which is fast and moving, and which is also played mostly in the evenings, attracted the family crowd also. And with the innovation with like what you have as cheer girls and all that, it has created a good impression on the what I would say is the public of the fans of each franchise, bringing a lot of people and attention to the game of cricket here. All of us need a change.
Yeah, Paul?
Yeah, no more questions I can see. Just PS Murli saying a wonderful session. Thank you, Kashi sir, for the inspiring session. I think we had a good session with you, sir. You as somebody mentioned you as the calm and cool CEO. You answered all the questions, including our Anoop's rapid fire, so coolly. So I know, I think MSD must be getting us ideas from the CEO, the cool and calm CEO.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So Anoop, I think we can go to Silju now.
Yeah, before we go, sir, just one more question for the fans. So
Yeah.
anything special planned for the fans of CSK?
Another interesting and probably successful IPL 15.
So, let me ask one for the youngsters who see this program, because we have a lot of youngsters who watch this program and we upload it on the YouTube. If a player aspires to become a CSK player, what do you look in these youngsters?
See, the most important thing which we look into as a CSK player is he should be a multi-skilled player and be a good team man. Excel as a team man.
Yeah, I think there's a good suggestion which has come up by Radhakrishnan. Whistle pod. I think on behalf of all of us, we give you a real long whistle for the Chennai and the whole CSK team. And best wishes. And once again, this T-shirt. Thanks for the CSK from CSK side. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. So let me go to the next part of our session. So we are through with this. Q&A is over. So let me welcome Dr. Silju, who is the president of Indian Orthodontic Society, and he is a HOD at MS Ramaiah Medical College, Orthodontics. Over to you, Silju.
Thank you, Anoop. Am I audible?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Good evening to one and all. After an absorbing and interesting session of listening to the boss of one of the most successful team in IPL, the king of the Chennai Super Kings, a master administrator and CEO of the CSK, Shri S.Viswanathan, sir. Truly mesmerized by your simplicity, sir, knowledge, calm composure, and confidence that has left us all spellbound and in awe of you, sir. You really are an inspiration for us all. On behalf of the ECC Ranji Memorial Society, let me express my profound gratitude to you for sharing your precious time and enlightening us as to how you climbed the ladder of success through sheer hard work, dedication to be an iconic figure in this exciting world of cricket in India, and giving us a glimpse of your astute administrative wisdom, expertise, and vision for CSK and cricket in general. We wish CSK many more trophies under your dynamic leadership. Gratitude to Sri Narayan Kuti for giving us a wonderful introduction to the speaker and enlightening us on the real story behind the success and interesting snippets that has increased our admiration for the speaker. Gratitude to the two stars, Sri M.A. Satish and Sri Sunu Oasis, former greats of the India Kerala Ranji cricket team, for the excellent moderation in tandem and making this interaction so interesting and absorbing and making this moderated session to perfection. Special thanks to our patron, Kerala Cricket Association, officials of the KCA and KDCA, officials of all the district association, various cricket academies, former and current players, and cricket fraternity in general for supporting the event today, and of course the gracious presence as attendees. I would like to express my thanks to the visual and print media for the promotion for the event. I express my gratitude to the efforts of the dynamic president, the secretary, and all the office bearers who played a pivotal role in the success of today's event. The entire office bearers of ECC Ranji Memorial Society. A special thanks to Anup for being such a binding factor and one of the main force behind the show. I also thank the past and the present members of the EC East Hill Cricket Club and all the special invitees and cricket enthusiast attendees for participating and make this webinar a grand success. Finally, wishing you all a great evening and a wonderful week ahead. And thank you, and please take care till we meet again for the next session of Cric Tag. Thank you. Over to you, Anu.
So thank you. So this brings us to the close of today's webinar. But sir, before we, if we have some more time, I would definitely like to take some feedback from Kalli sir and JK sir. If you have time, can I take a few more minutes of yours, sir?
Yep.
Kalli sir, can you unmute and speak?
Yeah, tell me. Are you
Yeah,
able to
sir.
hear me now? Are you
Yeah, I
able to
can
hear
hear
me?
you, sir. Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah. Tell me, boss. What you can ask me any questions.
So how did it went on, sir?
It went on beautifully. I think Kasi, as usual, he expresses himself very clearly, and in a very simple and in a manner where everybody could understand. Because the amount of hard work that he has put in over the last 50 years, it used to normally amaze me because I've never seen him getting angry even once. And he's one guy who works behind and starts, as he said, the process is very, very important. And I think CSK, other than Dhoni, I think Kasi's calmness, Kasi's cool-headed approach, and where he should talk, where he should not talk, everything he knows inside out. And the way he handles the boss, Mr. N. Srinivasan, and other colleagues, is seen to be believed. And I must say, I'm very, very fortunate to have had a wonderful association with Kasi. And Kasi is the one, after my retirement, brought me to the cricketing picture of TNCA. And then subsequently, it went to BCCA in terms of match referee. And then eventually, he brought me into his own CSK franchise. So it's a great field. And I think whatever questions that you people asked, Kasi answered in an apt manner and in a manner where everybody would understand, and the process that went behind this. And I think it's a great evening, and in fact I learned quite a bit from this particular session.
Thank you very much, Kalli sir. I think now we know one more reason why CSK is performing so well. When you have two cool heads together, no wonder they have to be champions.
Don't pass on anything to me. Out of 100%, 100 should go to Kasi. 0 can come to me. I have no issues.
Yes.
Anup, Mr. JK is.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I'm trying to.
Yeah, he's here. He's in the panel list. I put him.
Oh, okay. You put him there. Okay.
Hello. Good
Yeah.
evening.
Hi, Mr. JK. So.
Good
please-
evening.
Good evening, JK.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic to see you on this platform because I must hats off to RMCC for getting you into this. It's easy to get cricketers, but not a busy man like you. But especially yes, in your hectic time with the IPL coming around. And it was glad to know that your association with Kali is great and a great friend. I can understand Kali doesn't have friends who are not good. Kali only associates him with good human beings. So that's why Kuti is in his best books. Well, only thing I can tell you about Kasi, I've been living in 38 years or 40 years in Chennai. And I've been with TNCA going and coming. My son was also involved there. But I had a couple of nice meetings with him. Whenever I meet him, I rate him as one of the best human beings because I won't forget that I've never been after a ticket or something to Kasi or in my 20 years or last 30 years in Chennai. But I remember one occasion why I rate him as a great human. I was in South Africa in Durban and I wanted to watch a game of CSK. So I called him in his hotel room and he accepted my call and was very humble to say, come over and take your ticket. And when he gave me a ticket, I can't forget that. It was a VIP ticket among the top VIPs with Malia and Shilpa Sethi and all that area. And that is why he is a great human. See, when he recognizes cricketers, he understands what their needs are. That is why he is the CEO of such a great team. And I have a high regards for this gentleman. I wish him great in his future endeavors. His daughter, I know, is a good dancer. He's a wonderful human being. And whatever association I had with him and met him a couple of times, I rate him as a very intelligent human being. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful time with us.
Thank you, JK. How's your health?
I'm good, sir. So far, so good. I've moved to Bangalore. I relocated myself to Bangalore, sir, since 2 years now.
Okay.
I decided that there's a different innings in life after all. And with Ramachandra, 5 years, I said I must now support my children. So I'm here next to and I'm little, but I'm still with the blood is always with cricket and clothing, sir.
That will never go. I know that. I think I should congratulate the Kerala Cricket Association because you're the only ones who have the veterans cricket played regularly. And all of you meet. It's a great occasion for friends to meet and be there. That's great.
You remember you had come for my daughter's wedding?
Yeah.
Which we had some time. So it is a great opportunity to see you, and I appreciate the way Kuti has presented you. And Kuti's, I've got to know so many things about you here today, which I wouldn't have known. So it's great to come to this platform, sir. It's been wonderful for us all to know so many things about what happens behind the scenes. Anyway, sir, I remember playing in Shankar Nagar in 1971 or something like that.
Yeah, I played the first Ranji Trophy match.
1969, sir.
69.
Time. I'm sure you would have been watching that game.
No, I was operating the manual scoreboard at that time.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
I got a 40 and 30.
I still remember that game at Shankar Nagar.
I got a 40 and 38 in that game.
Yes. Yeah.
And Ravi Achan got a 60 or 70 runs.
60 or 70.
That was a wonderful replay. That was the first 69. Balan Pandit, Malik.
Balan Pandit, yeah, correct. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
A wonderful match. That was the first Ranji Trophy played, I guess. It
was on a matting wicket at that time. After that wicket has also changed.
I realized that you are from Tirunelveli only today.
Yeah.
Well,
we have a good wicket. We have floodlights there. It's good wickets there also.
I know, sir. I heard about it. It's wonderful, sir. So I'll see you soon, sir, when I come to Chennai.
Yeah. But thank you so much.
Lovely to see you here, sir.
And, thank you.
Have a good journey ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, JK sir. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Thank you very much.
Welcome. And thank you, RMCC, for doing such a great job. Well done, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
No, we can stop the recording.
Yeah. So, thank you, sir. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
We
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Enjoyed, and
Thank you.
we hope to see you sometime soon in Calicut.
Sure.
I would also like to join you anyway.
Yeah. Kali is coming. Please accept our
Thank you,
invite.
sir.
Kalli
when
sir,
you-
we are
when you
actually
are-
waiting for you to come back from US to plan
Okay,
a
fine.
program in Calicut. Yeah, we are waiting for you to come back.
Sure. When you talk about Calicut, I just can't. I really lose myself. I'll have to. It looks like Calicut happens to be my native place.
It is your native place.
Thank
Kasi,
you.
very well done, Kasi, and thanks
Thank you.
to
Thank you, Kali.
all of
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Good night.
Well done, Narayan Kuti. Very well done, Narayan Kuti.
Okay, Kasi sir.
Yeah,
Good night.